Hello students, welcome back to the channel. So in this video we'll be covering all the PYQs of research aptitude unit, which will start from the 2012 to 2024, the latest examination. Correct. So if you are seriously preparing for the Telangana SET examination, which is upcoming exam, this video is very important for you, because in this video you will be understanding what is the exam pattern, what are the repeated questions or repeated chapters they are asking in the examination, right? So very important. So I suggest in each and every student, please watch this video till the end and share as maximum as you can. And before starting the session, very important thing I would like to share with you all. If you are preparing for the Telangana SET examination and want to qualify this examination, whether you are preparing for the first time or second time, okay, we are providing a paper 1 complete course which will cover your whole syllabus through the live sessions. In this course, you will be also getting the topic wise MCQs, full syllabus notes, full syllabus mock test, MCQ series PDF. Okay, and we are starting our new batch for Telangana SET paper 1 from the 1st November. Okay, and if you want to join this course, just contact on this number. You can do WhatsApp message or WhatsApp call, or just download the application, that is Global Online, which is free of cost, available on Play Store. Go to the Play Store, search Global Online, and you can join the course through the application as well. Simply just go to the Play Store, search Global Online. You can download this application. Open the application in the store section here. Okay, you will see this page. In the search box, you can search Telangana SET. Okay, and then you can join the course through the application. So this is the first question on your screen, which is from the 2012 examination. One of the following behavior does not conform to research ethics. Identify the behavior. So we need to find out the behavior from the following options, which is not conforming with the ethics. That means which is ethically not correct, right? A. Copying passage from the book along with the acknowledgement. B. Arriving at the generalization which the researcher feels as truth, even though data do not support it. C. Formulating hypothesis which is not confirmed by the review of literature. And D. Using statistical techniques in the qualitative research. So the right answer is option B, which is not correctly matching with the ethics in the research, which is unethical. Okay, because when we are generalizing the thing based on the theory which is there, and that theory do not support the generalization, the actual meaning, actual solution, then how it will be ethical? It is not ethical. Copying passage from the book along with the acknowledgement, that is option A, which is ethical, because we are citing the information whatever we have taken, whatever we have copied, right, with the due acknowledgement, so that is ethical. Option C, formulating hypothesis which is not confirmed by the review of literature. Sometimes researcher will generate ideas which is not connected with the literature, the previous literature. Okay, so that is also a correct one. Using statistical techniques in qualitative research, that is also correct. It is totally correct, because uh, statistical techniques sometimes useful in the qualitative research as well to measure the data, right? So it is uh, not unethical. Okay, it is not unethical, correct. When we are generalizing thing on the basis of that data which is actually not supporting the solution, that is not correctly matching with the ethics. Okay, so that is why option B, which is the behavior which does not confirm the research ethics. So next question is, one of the following forum will be directly relevant for the administrative actions. Okay, A, seminar, B, conference, C, workshop, and D, symposium. Very easy question. Workshop is the correct answer, because it is asking about the administrative actions. That means we need to implement it. We need practical, right? And in the seminar, conference, symposium, it is the aiming for the discussing on a particular topic, particular subject, which is not directly implementing it, which is not directly practical. Okay, workshop is a practical thing. In the workshop we do actions, we implement things, right? That is why the C option is correct, which is directly relevant for the administrative actions. Okay, it is asking about the actions, that is why option C is correct. Quality of a good thesis is judged by the three of the following four qualities. Okay, One is coherence across objectives and findings. Second is consistency between data analysis and interpretation. Third is a comprehensive review of literature, and D is number of references cited in the theses. Okay, options are here A, B, C, D. The right answer is option B. Only 1, 2 and 4. Okay, 1, 2 and 4. Okay, third option will not be directly relevant to the solution. Okay, because review of literature is the beginning of starting the thesis, right? And according to that, it will not be judging directly what kind of or what is the level of thesis, whether it is good or bad, right? The objective is the main part here, which will directly uh, telling you what is there in the thesis, how deeply you have studied in the thesis, right? So objectives and findings, then your data analysis, interpretation, and references, these are the things which are representing the thesis, whether it is good or not. Okay, next question is asking about three of the following four attributes characterize research. Identify the one which is not an attribute of research. So basically there are four options, and among those four there are three options which are characteristics of research, and one is which is not the attribute, that means which is not the characteristics of research. Okay, which one is that? A, research is purposive. B, finding of research can be generalized for all context. Research is logical and objective, and research is based on the accurate data. So option B is the right answer, because all contexts, this word is not correct. Okay, because finding of research cannot be generalized for all the context, right? For example, if we can take, we have studied on Indian students, okay, and from that study we cannot relate with the American students, right? So basic thing is there which cannot be generalized for the all context. Okay, that is the specific one. That is why the option B is not correct, which is not directly relevant with the characteristics of research, correct? So next question is about the match the followings. Okay, in the list 1 there are methods of research, and in the list 2 it is related to the methods. Okay, so experimental method, descriptive, historical and longitudinal method is given, and in the list 2 there are the relevant statement regarding the methods. Okay, like continuity of observations over time, internal criticism of data, stratified sample, equivalence of groups. So basic things we need to try first, that longitudinal method, that is the basic thing. We know that longitudinal method means what? We are studying for a longer period, right? So D will directly go to the option P, the continuity of observation over time, that is correctly matching with the longitudinal. Okay, now you need to find out in which options D is correctly matching with the P. Okay, here it is matching and here it is matching. Okay, next one we need to find out the second option, or whatever you knowing that experimental method, that means it should be equivalence of groups, correct? It should be equivalence of groups, because uh, it needs the control, that means it has a control and experimentation in the groups, so we need to make it equivalent, correct? So that is why it is correctly matching with the S. So in which option A is correctly matching with the S? Okay, so we have already eliminated these two. Now we need to find out in these two options, okay, whether A is correctly matching with the S or not. Here it is matching, here it is not matching, so two options are correctly matching here. So basically right answer is option A. We don't need to know the all options correctly. Even you know one or two options correctly or confidently, you can give a right answer. Okay, next, organize the following in an appropriate sequence. One is analysis and interpretation of data, second is preparation of research report, third is identification and selection of a problem, fourth is formulation of research design and collection of data. So sequentially we need to arrange it. Okay, so the right answer is option D. Firstly, identify and select the problem, right? Secondly, formulation of research design. Thirdly, the collection of data. Fourthly, analysis. Okay, And lastly, preparation of research report. Okay. Next question, the degree of which the findings of the study can be generalized to a wider population is known as A. Analysis of validity, construct validity, internal validity or external validity. That is your external validity. Next question. Alright, so from the previous question we have started with the 2014 examination questions. Okay. Which of the following methods involves a systematic and comprehensive study of a particular community, organization, groups, etc. with a view to analysis of social problems and the presentation of recommendation for its solution? A. Experimental method, B. Survey method, C. Historical method, and D. Quantitative method. So that is your survey method. Basically this is the case. Okay, the question itself is a case based and they are asking what kind of method is this. This is the survey method. Next, the purpose of qualitative research is to promote a deep holistic understanding of a phenomenon of interest. B. Describe participants' attitudes on a 5-point scale ranging from the strong negative to the strong positive. C. Establish causal relationships in a natural context. And D. Interview and observe participants to confirm theoretical propositions. So the right answer is option A, which is directly stating the qualitative research, right? Promote a deep holistic understanding of phenomenon of a interest. Okay, that is the qualitative. Describing participants' attitude on 5 points. Okay, the number is there, so it will be quantitative. Establish causal relationship in natural context. That is also a correlational. Okay. Interview and observe participants to confirm theoretical propositions. That is also not a correct one. So A option is correct. Next question is about match the following. In the list 1, the methods of research are given, and in the list 2, the purpose of those methods are given. Okay, so we need to match the purpose with the relevant methods of research. Okay, so fundamental, applied, action, case study, experimental is given, and here in the list 2 the purpose of those research methods are given. Okay, so correct option is option A. That means fundamental, okay, is established to establish concepts, principles and theories. Okay, that means your scientific. Applied research is your to identify right practice on the basis of established theory. Okay, applied research. Then action research is to find solution to a problem faced by practitioner. Case study is your to study individual in detail, and experimental, that is your to establish facts experimentally. Next, a systematic inquiry conducted by a teacher, a researcher, principal, school counselor or the stakeholders in a teaching or learning environment is known as ethnography, narrative research, mixed method research or action research. That is action research. In the conduct of research, the process in which generalization are inferred from the specific facts or conclusions are derived from individual observations is called deductive strategy, deductive reasoning, inductive strategy or explanatory strategy. What is it? It is inductive strategy. Why? Because in an inductive strategy what we do, we focus firstly on a specific point, right? And then that specific point we will convert, we will generalize into the general points. Okay, that is your inductive strategy. So in the question itself it is saying about the inductive process, and that is why option C we have chosen correctly. Next is logic of induction is very close to logic of sampling, logic of observation, logic of control variable and logic of independent variable. So right answer is option A, because you must understand what is induction first. Induction means that is the process, that inductive strategy we have done, right? So induction means going from specific to the general, and is the sampling itself. Sampling means what? We are taking some samples from the whole population. So sampling is a specific thing, and then we are comparing that sample with the population. We are representing, the sample is representing the whole population.
That is why specific to the general, that means samples that coming from the population. So population is a general thing, sample is a specific thing. So it is closely relating to the induction. Hypothesis cannot be stated in null term, affirmative term, general term or declarative term, that is declarative term. Why? Because see, null is correct, affirmative and general is correct, because hypothesis is what we are having the solution, the tentative solution of a problem. So it should be always affirmative or null, okay, and general as well. It should be in that form, which should be in a testable form. It should be tested. Getting it? And what I'm trying to say, the hypothesis is always in a testable form. It will be tested only. So if it is declarative, right, it cannot be testable. So that is why option D is not correct, which the hypothesis cannot be stated in declarative. For example, if there is no relationship between the x and y, that means it is null, right? If it is saying there is a relationship, it is saying only there is a relationship, that is declarative and it cannot be tested, correct? So declarative is not cannot be stated. The hypothesis cannot be stated in declarative form. Which of the following is not the characteristics of research? He is a specialist rather than a generalist. He is industrious and persistent on the trial of a discovery. He is not inspirational to his chosen field but accept the reality. He must be an expert in a statistics. Okay, so right answer is option D. Okay, he must be an expert in statistics. That is the not the characteristics of research, because a researcher must have a little bit knowledge about the statistics, but if he is not expert in that, that will be acceptable. Okay, that it not must that expert will be there in the statistics. The researcher must be expert in a statistics. Okay, if he is a basic knowledge of statistics, that is acceptable. 9 years old are taller than 7-year-olds. This is an example of a conclusion from vertical study, cross-sectional study, time series study or experimental study. That is cross-sectional studies, because we are examining the two terms, 9-year-olds, okay, and 7-year-olds. So that is cross-sectional. Okay. Which of the following is measure of consistency? Validity, objectivity, reliability or credibility? That is your reliability. Okay, what is reliability? That means instrument, okay, which is tested, correct, which is consistently tested and the result is similar. That is called reliability. If your result is reliable, that means your result is same after testing again and again, that process is called reliable. Your research, your result is reliable. Okay. Next, an example of scientific knowledge is authority of a prophet, social customs, religious scriptures or laboratory and field experiment. That is option D, scientific knowledge, that means laboratory and field experiment. So this is all about today's session, everyone. The next questions, which is from 2018 to 2024, will be covered in the part 2 of the session. Okay, so please subscribe the channel and watch the next video as well. Thank you so much. Have a great day.